Hey friends, it's Crystal with your Real Estate Transaction Coordinator YouTube channel, and this is episode number 7 of TC Life Behind the Scenes. So today I want to talk to you about imposter syndrome. This is something that has been coming up quite a bit just in this week alone. I've heard it mentioned in different podcasts that I've listened to. It's been mentioned in my accountability group. I've been thinking about it. I've been maybe feeling a little bit of it. And so I thought this is a perfect topic to bring to you today in Behind the Scenes of a Real Estate Transaction Coordinator. So first I want to start by reading the definition of imposter syndrome in the case that you're not familiar with it. So imposter syndrome, also known as fraud syndrome or the imposter experience. It is a psychological pattern in which people doubt their accomplishments and have a persistent, often internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. Okay, so basically, and it also goes on to say that imposter syndrome is something typically experienced by women more so than men. So, but any of us can feel this. Like I just mentioned, I feel it. I recently felt it. I have felt it in the past, and I'm sure some of you may be dealing with it as well. So I want to go over 7 tips that I found from the Huffington Post, actually. So I thought that they had a really good article on how to cope or how to deal with imposter syndrome. And I'm going to share those 7 tips with you. And so by the end of this video, you'll have a few ways to beat imposter syndrome if you're feeling that way right now, or if it rears its ugly head in the future. You'll have some tips on how to take care of it. All right, so number 1, identify the feelings that you're experiencing. So if you're feeling like you want to start a new project, let's say you want to start your business as a real estate transaction coordinator, and you are thinking that, and by the way, you know what? This is TC Life Behind the Scenes. So that beeping that you hear, that's my little one's monitor, and the battery is dying. So it's back there beeping, doing its thing. I guess it just wants to be a part of the video. So I figure I should acknowledge it. Anyhow, number 1, I'm beating it at imposter syndrome. Identify the feelings that you're experiencing. So if you are in a place where you want to start a new project, you want to start your business as a virtual real estate transaction coordinator, and you're thinking that someone is going to find you out because you don't have an MBA, you haven't had businesses in the past, you haven't been in the real estate industry before, and this internal list that you have going on in your brain of what you think you need to be or what you need to have in order to start a new project, you need to identify that and make yourself very aware of what the feelings that are going through your mind, and then let it out. So maybe talk with someone like a close friend or someone who is in maybe an accountability group that you're part of, or a mastermind group, and talk, or if it's your spouse, whatever, a parent, talk to them about it. And it feels good to just let it out, like I'm doing in this video right now. Number 3, reconsider your perception of failure. So if you're one of those people who you never start anything because you are a perfectionist, and if you think, if I can't do it and be perfect at it, then I'm just not going to do it, you need to really reconsider your perception of failure. And it is important to be in a space where you can start and be okay with little bumps in the road, because there is support out there. Like, I am here for you. There are people who are more than willing to be there for you and help you through those little bumps in the road. So reconsider your perception as a failure. And I'm going to screw up this quote, and I think it was from Zig Ziglar, and it's not word for word, by any means, but I remember him saying something to the effect of failure is an experience. It is not a descriptor of yourself. So you are not a failure. You are never a failure. But in life, there will be situations that, yeah, you may fail at, but it's not a descriptor of who you are. It's just an experience that you hopefully learn from and then move on from it and do better the next time. All right, number 4, reaffirm your self-worth. So this is where you accept the successes that you have had in the past or are currently experiencing and be okay with it. Allow yourself to say, hey, you know what? I am really good at this. Or my friends say that, I have this great skill in X, Y, and Z, and be able to accept compliments or even accept yourself reflecting on past successes. Number 5, refrain from comparison. So that's a big one. What do we always do is really look at someone beside us, ahead of us, whatever, and we think about, they're doing it. I couldn't do it as good as they are, or maybe they have more money, or maybe they have more time, or whatever the case may be. Don't get yourself in that situation where you're comparing yourself to someone because you don't know their story and they may be struggling too. Who knows? Number 6, reevaluate the context of the situation. And my interpretation of that is think about, is there a trend? Like, for example, do you see yourself having these feelings every time you do X, Y, and Z? So if you feel like an imposter around certain times of your life or certain areas or certain subjects, be sensitive to that. So that way you can address it and tackle it so that the next time that experience, comes up, you can handle it in a different way without coming out of it feeling like, you are an imposter. And then number 7, I think this is probably the most important tip, is it says to pursue your goal relentlessly, regardless of what you feel. And I know sometimes it's hard for us to get out of our feelings, but you do. When I'm feeling this way, I just have to tell myself, just take one more step. And it can just be a small step, but you just need to move forward and just kind of get out of that rut, get out of that mind space and, make your mind focus on something else. So I'm going to say this again, pursue your goal relentlessly, regardless of what you are feeling at that time. So I think I can't say that enough, that I think that is so important. And it's something that you may have to work on. I don't think it's just a one-time fix, but do know that you're not alone. I feel it. And I'm sure many other people feel imposter syndrome, but they don't even know what it is. So you're not alone. And there are people out there who are with you on this journey as you start businesses or start new projects or whatever it is. And if you're watching this channel, hopefully you're considering starting your business as a virtual real estate transaction coordinator. And that means that I am here for you. So reach out to me, use me as a resource. And I hope this video just gave you some good tips on how to handle those times when you feel like an imposter. All right, everyone, we are at the end of this video. And so, I like to remind you to make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so that way you are notified every time there is a new video. And then if you're not on my subscriber list, tisk, 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 you need to make sure that you sign up for my email list so that way you can get the free bonuses and resources that I only share with that list. If you have any questions, I would love to hear from you. Send me an email in the comments below. Before I jump off, go ahead and just type in imposter and just get it out. Or you can type in, how about this? Type in, I am not an imposter. How about that? Short and sweet, but go ahead and get that out of your system. Signing off as always with my favorite Golden Girls cup. I have some tea in here this time. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for being a friend and watching this video. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.